Well, here we go for a DJI Mini 3 Pro flight. Mid-September, windy flight. And once again, we'll be in the fog till we find our landing pad. Seems like it's fog, rain, or clouds with me, guys. And I'm sure she'll pop up here on the side. There she is. Well, you can see shadows of the leaves on the trees and the limbs. She's blowing pretty hard. She's blowing about 15 miles an hour on the ground. And up at altitude, no problem, 20, 25 miles an hour. So we're going to go against the wind here. We've got the Mini 3 Pro Thelma and try to gain a little altitude here. We're going to fly into the wind to start with so we know that we can make it back. She is flying with the extended battery today. And she is filming in 4K 30 frames a second with no ND filters. Almost put a 16 ND on today, but I didn't. So we're headed due south. I've flown over this area several times. You can see the nice lake up there and this million dollar house on the side of the lake. We're going to veer right at it and go a little direction, a little west once we get down to towards the highway down here. A little further west than we usually go. So we'll see how she does in the wind. I said she's flying basically into the wind now, and she's in normal mode. And she's doing pretty well. A couple of times during the filming of this video, the gimbal glitched when I was closer to bringing her back in, and you'll see it popped a couple of times. And it's done that since the last update, at least once during each flight. And I thought it was the wind, but when I got to thinking about it, the wind was really not blowing sideways, which usually can cause you gimbal problems or flying into the wind. The wind was kind of at my back when the problem started before landing, but we'll get to that later. I hope it shows up on this. It surely showed up on the screen recording I did. So anyway, we're headed south here. And there she goes. There was a glitch in my computer there, so don't know what that was all about, but don't like that. Two glitches. Anyway, I'm going to leave it in there. It is what it is, and we're going to head to the west here a little bit. Right along the highway. We're not going to fly over the highway, but we're going to bump up to her. Thelma, other than the couple glitches that she had when I was bringing her back, flew flawlessly again. Didn't fly that far. Like I've told you all before, these guys that are getting 15, 20, 25,000 feet and more, I don't know how they're doing it. I'm flying in FCC mode and in a fairly rural area. I mean, a lot of woods and trees, but I couldn't get that if I was throwing this thing off a mountain. It just wasn't going to happen. Wouldn't happen either. So I don't know how they're doing it. I would like to be with them when they are doing it and see for my own eyes, because I just can't hardly fathom being able to fly the Mini 3 that far. I mean, I've flown over water, some good-sized lakes, and no. This particular one, she gets out 10, 12,000 feet, and she's going to go to return to home. I don't care if you're out in outer space. That's just the way it is with this drone. Now, my Mini 2 actually has better range most of the time. Old Peggy Sue, she outflies her sister, Thelma, in distance-wise. And I haven't been having the glitches with the gimbal like I've been having with the Mini 3 also for the last month or so. So this is a little new area I've flown over here, or haven't flown over here. I'm not sure. I thought there was a golf course over here somewhere. But that's definitely not the case right here. So I'm not sure what they do there, but it's got a nice big chunk of grass and a nice long road and a beautiful pond there. Anyway, we're headed back northwest now, kind of making a big circle here. And now she's flying, Peggy Sue's flying with the wind at her back, and she likes the wind blowing up her dress a little bit there. Seems to give her a little more oomph, a little more lift. She moves along pretty good in normal mode here, and I'm going to start cutting across to the wind here in a little while, and that'll slow her down a bit. Not exactly sure what that is. Somebody owns a nice big farm or chunk of land there, that's for sure. Nice clear cut in the woods. I know there's a homeless camp up in here. I've seen and helped the people out a little bit when they're on the side of the road there. And I know they live back in the woods here quite a ways. So anyway, we're coming down. Going to look at this field here just for a second, then we're going to split to the right. I didn't even know that field was there, and I like this high line, so I'm going to make a beeline for the high line. Now we're headed northeast, and over an area that I hadn't taken that good a look at before. There I am up there at the top. Let's see where I'm standing. And we're headed back. I'm zeroing in on it here. Boop. And this is an area that I hadn't particularly flown over before, maybe a little bit, but I'm always interested to see what's lurking around in the woods as far as ponds and, oops, see the glitch there? Wow. That was the first of many. So there's some clear cuts in the woods there that I did not know was there. I should have stopped to see what that white deal is right there, but I didn't. Was in a hurry to get back. So we're going to pick up the road here and find our way back. We're going to kind of transverse the road here. I'm up there. I was at the top of the picture, but got my finger on that gimbal again. I need to get it off of there more. So she's flying diagonal to the wind now. The wind's blowing from her right to her left. And she's doing pretty good. Like I said, every once in a while the gimbal will act up a little bit and you get a little glitch there. But, oh, he's got a lot of solar. Look at the solar power on that house. Man, he's loaded 3, 6, 9, 250. He's running that whole place on solar. That's pretty neat. I like solar power. I'm just running a little bit here of my own doing. So we're going to follow the edge of the road here. We're going to cut up where this road cuts to the left here and make a loop around us, and we'll be back to where we belong. Pretty nice flight all in all. Just a couple glitches at the beginning, and I'm not sure what that was. There was a computer glitch and a couple small gimbal glitches. But a really good flight. Like I said, she is really windy out there today. The Mini 3 handles the winds quite well. Winds at altitude here, easily 20 to 25 miles an hour. They were blowing 10 to 15 on the ground most of the morning. And when you're up 300 foot in the air, yeah, you can count on it being a little faster than that. Before you fly, was guesstimating at 25 plus at altitude, at flight altitude. So there I am standing right down there in the shade. walking out to try to get a clear view of the drone now. I was underneath that tree there. So we're going to go down this way a little ways. Then I think I'm going to pop it and return to home. And I was going to let her come back and just see how accurate she is. She usually lands within 5 to 10 feet of where I take off at. And I was going to do that here, and I do actually pop it in RTH here, but then I got to look, and I'm standing basically underneath a tree, and I got trees to my left of me, trees to my right. Sounds like a song stuck in the middle with you. So there's a car there. I didn't see that. I quickly realized that no, that's probably not the best thing to let her come back. So I'll pop it in RTH here, and then I'll take her right back out and fly her for a loop. Nice walking trail you can see down in the woods there. That car is one of the trail care people that help keep the trails clean and stuff through the parks area here. Actually, this is a parks area, a city park area, and a state wildlife area. Now we're headed east, and we're looking for a pond, and I see it up there to the right. And we're going to make a beeline for it, do a little loop around it, and then come back and see if we can find that same picnic table. Will we or not? Only the shadow knows. Anyway, it was a great flight. Like I said, just a couple glitches in there. The Mini 3 is doing exactly what I thought and hoped she would do 99% of the time. She acts a little funny a couple times, but she takes great video. She flies really well. She doesn't have the distance I would like, but that's beside the point, you know. I didn't buy the drone for distance. It's just nice to have a good, strong signal. That's more what I'm concerned with, is signal strength. You know, and the Mini 3 does not like trees or leaves or anything like that. So we're getting ready to come back. We're going to follow this road back, and we'll be putting her down here pretty soon. She had about 60% battery left, really, on the extended battery after this flight, but I always try to give myself a little extra. I don't like getting down to 50% when the wind is blowing pretty hard and I'm flying against the wind. It's just, oop, up, bam. See that? Right there. What is that? Who knows? But glitches just the same, man. I've been getting more and more of them in the Mini 3, in my Mini 3 videos. If you watch the last 2 or 3 videos, you'll see glitches like that in all of them. And it kind of upsets me a little bit, but what can you do? She flies good, she films good, she just has those little glitches. I don't know if it's a firmware problem or if a firmware update will take care of it. I would hope so, but I'm up to date on my firmware, I think, and if this is the latest firmware, then it obviously didn't take care of whatever the problem is. Or maybe it's just a problem that can't be fixed with firmware. A good chance of that. If I had another Mini 3 Pro to fly to compare to, that would be the thing to do, but I don't, so I won't. So anyway, we're almost got the drone right above us. Now's when I hit return to home, and I said, you know what? That was a dumb idea. I was going to see if she'd land right there by the picnic table for me, or on the picnic table. But if you can see, I've got gobs of trees around me and metal signs and everything. So I said, no, I better take that out of RTH and just bring this in myself. So she's out of RTH now, and we're going to turn her back this way and take a spin around, try to get you all dizzy. And bring her down, trying to pick her back up in the sun again. And we're coming back, and we'll flip back around and let you see where I took off from and see if we can get her back there. Sometimes the obstacle avoidance doesn't like me getting too close to trees and stuff, but this time it's not going to matter because she's going to come in hot and heavy here in a second. That picnic table up there on the right is her takeoff spot, so we'll see if we can get her back underneath there. I got trees on the left of me, trees on the right. I'm not doing that song again. And I'm stuck right in the middle with you guys, so anyway, we're going to see if we can bring her up here. There was somebody else over there by the shed, but they're not bothering me. He had a dog he was running around out there in the park. So let's bring her on over and get her squared away here so we can slip it between these trees and this shelter house. Here we come. And you can see, don't pay any attention to that guy underneath the shade tree over there. I don't know what he's doing right in front of you, but I wouldn't trust him. He looks like a shady character to me. Anyway, here we go. As you can see, some of the places I take off from, I'm looking over there, I'm saying, I'm glad I took that out of RTH. That could have been a problem. So we're going to bring her over here. Let's run her into this tree. No, let's don't do that. A little bit here and slide to the right. And we're just about done. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the flight. Come back again soon. Stay safe.